What is up, my little Danos? Vepsisi, Yokos of the Helsinki Atrigas, and we are here for the PPL Season 3 Week 1 battle when I go up against Crimson Sea, but somebody that I haven't played for almost 4 years by now. October 11th, 2020 was actually when I uploaded my last game in the UBL Season 5 when I got to go up against him. And it was a long time ago. I think if I remember right, I managed to beat him at the time, but I could not remember how the battle went, to be frank. But it's been a long time coming since we got to play. We didn't play last season, even though we were both in the league. The schedule did not align. And this season, he does have a very scary team to go up against, at least particularly to my own team. He has a Unburdened Core. You should be seeing the matchup right about now on your screen, as well as I briefly mentioned this before I start searching. He has a Rillaboom Sneasler core, which means that he can utilize Sneasler as Unburdened Sweeper with a Grassy Seed if he would like to. He has some of the strongest Terra Captain pairings, I would think, in the league, at least in my opinion, between Inteleon, which can be Terra Water and Grass, Rhyperior with Terra Fairy and Water. Out of those two, I can see both Pokemon to be brought, and the Terra types that I expect them to be would be Inteleon would be Terra Water, and the Rhyperior would be Terra Fairy. Other than that, he has a very strong, bulky, like a balanced team that can be annoying for my team to particularly to deal with. And I'm bringing both of my flying types as well, even though he has a Rhyperior and Heatran. So my goal in this game is to try to lure those things in and weaken them down so one of them can win. The items you can see in front of your screen already as I'm locking this team in. So I'm gonna be covering, ideally I'm gonna remember, and future me as an editor will remember to add a showdown screenshot of my sets as the Pokemon comes out of the field and there's some off time between the turns. That's how I wanna do the team builder portion. I don't wanna like make the introduction too long, so we just get into the action, but you still get an idea briefly what am I bringing and why I am bringing it. So, alright, we are connected with Crimson Sea, but let's see what 6 he brings. It's gonna be definitely a difficult matchup. And we do see Inteleon. We do see Heatran. He does bring the Electivire as well. Which I wasn't too sure if it's going to come, but it's going to be something that I have to be a little cautious of how I want to deal with it. But I did do one mock that had it. Shout out to my friend Martin who brought it. And we got to practice last night. And also Daria and Montai who are playing in this league that also gave me a mock battle to prepare for this. But I haven't frankly played Pokemon since my finals for the low tier format. When I played up against Addison, which I did manage to win, but it's been a hot minute. And I only played a little bit of Showdown with Pokemon ever since then, and other than that I've been, quite frankly, taking a break from all this. So we'll see how rusty I'm gonna be, and I know Crimson Seabat has done really well for himself in the low tier that he was taking part of, because he beat Shaco King in playoffs round 1, for example, and made it to semifinals. And I know by playing Shaco King in the past how difficult it can be to beat him in that kind of scenario in a playoff game, so huge credit for him to pull that off, and he's really been improving in this generation lately, so definitely gonna be a tough matchup ahead of me. But we'll see how this goes. We wish though good luck and have fun, or I tend to wish good luck and have fun regardless how things will play out. He does lead with the Sneasler. And I also noticed that there's no Hisuian Zorok in the matchup, so I know immediately what this thing is. Which, there's no mind games when it comes to that. Now, do I want to like stay in and Terralize, because I don't expect him to... Because I kind of expect him to U-turn here, because I have a Cloaking. And I would like to Terralize this. I think I'll make that play. I don't expect him to close combat, because I have a Cloaking in the back. So, I'm gonna expect him to U-turn. And off the chance he would go into Heatran, I wanna punish that play. He could go into the Mandibuzz as well. But I think I want to Terralize to make sure I have this thing ready to go dealing with the Inteleon, because the Inteleon can be really scary for me to deal with if I leave this as a pure Grass Dragon type, because the Ice Beam can kill me. We are Southwest Hydrapple this week, fully especially defensive, as he does go for the U-turn. This is what I was expecting. Like he knows I have cloaking in the back, and if I would have stayed as my neutral type or becoming a Terra Fairy, he would have otherwise clicked like Dioclaw. So I didn't expect close combat to be his play there, frankly. And for me, it was really important to get this Terra off. But we saw this Sneasler is a U-turn set. I'm less likely to think it's gonna be set up anymore. So it could be potentially Choice Scarf. I would have to see from that damage that does it tell me that if it's gonna be Choice Bandit, but I would have thought it would have done more if it is that. He goes into Izumi, which is the Mandibus, yeah. I do rebuild my Earth Power, but I thought it would be regardless like obvious that I'm gonna carry it, but I wanna make sure that I would have punished the aggressive play there. So I did about 10% with the U-turn, which could tell that it's like Adamant Scarf or High Roll with Jolly. But regardless, that's fine by me. Here I think I'm gonna go into my Steve, the Swampert, because I wanna be able to get up my Stealth Rocks. It would suck to lose my Citrus Berry, but I'd rather hold into my other items if he goes for knockoff. So we're gonna go into our Swampert, which is gonna be mainly physically defensive, and our Stealth Rocker this week. He does go for foreplay, okay. Which does do a decent chunk. He has foreplay on this. He could also have knockoff. But this could indicate also that Sneasler has Trick on it. If it shows up to be that he doesn't have knockoff on this set, then that would mean that he could have some shenanigans going on. But for now, I think I'll just press my Stealth Rocks. That's just by far my better play. He does go for Toxic. So this does make me think that the Sneasler could have Switcheroo on it. Which I have to be mindful of then. But I'll go for my Stealth Rocks. And I think I follow this up with a knockoff. I want to knock off any item that could potentially be coming into my way when it comes to either this thing, Heavy Duty Boots, or anything else that would swap in. He does go for a foreplay. That's gonna put me in a Citrus Berry range, which I'll definitely take just fine. And I proceed to go for knockover. Remove its likely Heavy Duty Boots. Yeah. And from here I'm just gonna go for a flip turn. And proceed from there. He does go for another foreplay, which is gonna weaken my Swampert down. But now I get a little bit of Torrent boosted flip turn there, which is a nice chip on it, because now it's around like, I would say like 65%. I don't run like that fancy thing anymore, like I used to do back in the day. Cause, quite frankly, I believe that it's a skill issue if you cannot play Wi-Fi game without knowing exactly the percentages doing the game in itself. Do I want to use Tonti or my Hydreigon that are both nasty plot in this game? I could utilize my Hydreigon here. Tontine is kind of like my winning condition towards the end. Yeah, I'll use my Hydreigon here. Which is that this week it's gonna be like a very bulky offensive Hydreigon set, which is running like Modest Nature or whatnot, as you can see from the screen. I have Citrus Berry on it, and I should be able to live after Stealth Rock damage, Choice Specs Modest Ice Beam if it came down to it. But he does go for a U-turn here. He does manage to crit me, which is unfortunate, but I'm curious what he goes into on this. He's also faster than me. So this is like a very fast Mandibus, which is probably like surprise for him that I'm this slow. So he doesn't have Defog on it or knockoff. I can still utilize this as a pivot if I'm forced out by something like a Sneasler. Or Inteleon. Those are probably the two things that are most likely able to force me out. Maybe Electivire. Frankly, the Electivire can be little annoying for me to deal with since I let my Swampert go down so low. But I'm expecting to run Trailblaze on it regardless. He does go into the Sneasler. Okay, he wanted to make a, I guess, aggressive swap. But I'm frankly okay with that. I expect him having to go for either for U-turn here or close combat. I don't expect this turn to be like a sweet zero scenario from his side. So I think I'll just go into my Slowking here, I think. Yeah. Let's go into our Galarian Slowking that holds the Colbur Berry. And it's really physically defensive for this Sneasler, but it has some speed for Rhyperior. In a case like this that I can punish his play. And I don't frankly expect him to stay in after he went for close combat. I could go for a Nasty Plot, because afterwards I can really punish whatever comes in, including that Mandiboss. Which I think is the likely swap in. Especially because it's relatively low. We see Sloth. Which is the Electivire, okay. But I think I'm okay with this, because I rather like hit this thing hard while I can. It should not be able to do too much to me. If it's gonna go for Supercell Slam, I should be able to live it. And I can do big damage back, and this is one of the flying resists that would be nice to get rid of. So I'll go for a Sludge Bomb here. If he runs like knockoff, I have Colbur Berry. I don't expect that Sneasler to be any more, which definitely feels like choice to me. He does go for the Earthquake and I'll lift the hit. And that did good amount of damage. That did good amount of damage. I could let my Swampert go here. And get myself a free swapping afterwards. I think that would be my play, right? Yeah. Unfortunately, I have to let Steve go down here. But weakening this Electivire is nice, cause that's one of the flying resists that I would have had to be aware of. He does go for Trailblaze, okay. This is a nice play from his side, cause now he does force my hand here to go into my Choice Scarf Staraptor, but I'm gonna try to bluff it at least a little bit. Yeah, I think that's... I'm not gonna wanna like burn my entire turn in a case that this game would go on longer. That I don't necessarily expect to, but... I could go for close combat, cause that hits pretty much everything when it comes to the flying resist, and it should kill this Electivire, right? Like, you're not that bulky on physical side. Cause if he does go into the flying resist, I wanna be able to hit them relatively hard. Yeah, close combat does good amount, so I'll go for close combat here. It's able to dent the Heatran and the Rhyperior, so hopefully my Taunty can function as a good winning condition. And then I have to just watch out for a Choice Scarf Sneasler and keep my Slowking around for it. He does withdraw. Who do we see coming out? Alex Louise, that's the Rhyperior. I can work with this, mainly because it should not be able to... Like, it's not gonna proc a status on me, as that does nothing to me. Nothing to it, thanks to Solid Rock and just being a Rhyperior. We don't see like a... We don't see Rocky Helmet. That's the word what I was looking for. I think I'll use Hydreigon on the swapping, knowing the fact that this is Terra Fairy. Like, regardless of the fact. Because I want to force that potential Terra. And Hydreigon is probably the most expendable here for me. So if something were to go down, I probably would rather let that thing go down. It's not looking great thus far when it comes to the... Okay, it's a Sword Dance set. Okay. But I know it's not weakness policy, because I already hit it before. I can go for a Flash Cannon. Because it's gonna hit super effectively, either this being Terra Fairy, or it's gonna stay as it is. If it's Dual Dance, I know my Staraptor still outpaces it. So I just wanna weaken it. He does Terralize. I'm expecting Fairy. Yeah, we do see Terra Fairy. As we go for the Flash Cannon, which should be doing good amount as it does. As he goes for a rest. Okay. Thankfully I got this Svedef drop. I expect it to be Resto Chesto then if he has rest on it, yeah. But this is a one of the flying resist, now not being a flying resist anymore either. So the only flying resist for me to deal with later on is the Heatran. But we go for the Flash Cannon again. It should do a good amount now, especially with this Svedef drop. Yeah, that's gonna leave it vulnerable. As he goes for Ice Punch. That's gonna take me out. But that also means that I'm pretty confident I can go into my Taunt T here. Because I can just Crash on it. And I would imagine he will just stay in here. I don't want to go into Staraptor risking the Flame Body if he does preserve this and try to fish for the Flame Body. So I just go into my Tornado Starion here, which is going to be running White Lens, because we are kind of covered this week. Because if I would miss a Bleak Next Storm or Focus Blast versus certain things, I could die. So instead of running Heavy Duty Boots for covering Stealth Rocks going up at any point, I'd rather have the accuracy gained. Krasnot should take this out because it's so heavy regardless. And it's -1 Svedef. Yeah, there goes the Rhyperior. So we have dealt with the Terra Pokemon. Which is important, because now the Inteleon cannot Terralize anymore, making itself stronger. Which was spooky if it's like Terra Watered, even for my Hydra Ball to deal with as it is. So I'm kinda glad that's been dealt with. If I would have gone into Staraptor, it would have left me in a position that Sneasler or Inteleon cannot revenge kill me that well. I don't think actually Sneasler can revenge kill me. I think the only one that can really do it really well would be the Inteleon. Only because he would be able to live a hit and go for Ice Beam. But at least I would force that hand and I have Hydra Ball to go into. But he goes into Mandibuzz. Which I guess he's going for any kind of chip damage that he could get. Do I kill you with Bleak Next Storm right from the get-go? If you're Svedef. Let's see. It does like 25 to 30, so I would not kill it right away. But with Nasty Blood up, after that I would start killing it. So I go for Nasty Blood here. I start providing some pressure on this. He might be able to Toxic me or Fall Play me. But he does go for U-turn. Okay. I'm frankly fine with that. I'm gonna leave that Mandibuzz to 35. Plus Stealth Rocks having to take with. So that Mandibuzz is essentially a sack right now. I wonder what he does here though. If it's a Heatran coming in, I have Focus Blast to go for, and it should kill it unless it's Shuffle Berry. Electivire cannot deal with me, and I know it's not Choice Scarf. Sneasler should not be able to kill me. At this point. We see Alphonse, which is the Heatran. Alright. I'm gonna go for the button that allows me to kill this thing, because then Staraptor looks really good. So we go for the Focus Blast. And we do connect, we have the White Lens for this, and it should now have Chopo Berry, right? Let's go. We do kill the Heatran right from the get-go. That is huge. Now my Staraptor doesn't have to worry about a Flame Body. And unless he has a faster Scarfall left, I'm doing well here. He has to go into Sneasler and hope for Diaclaw shenanigans. I believe that's why he went into it. How much Adamant Diaclaw does to me? It doesn't kill me. I should frankly go for this, cause if Sneasler dies, my Staraptor can win. So we go for Bleak Next Storm. He does go for the Diaclaw. And we go for the Bleak Next Storm, and he doesn't get the shenanigans. That is huge! Tornado Starion coming through here. And we were able to get rid of Sneasler as well. For some reason, the game doesn't like when I go for that move. I don't know what's going on. My Tornasterian just vanishes into thin air. But trust me, bro, he is still there. As he does go into the Mandibuzz. Does Mandibuzz just die to Krasnot? I'm gonna calc this and see. If it's Bedef at that range, do I need to risk a miss? I think we go for the Plignit Storm and just simply kill this. We go for Plignit Storm and we do land it and we kill the Mandibuzz. Do we see a Tornadusterian sweep in week 1? We'll see. Kazuha is coming through right now. I love the idea when I run this Flying Span versus him. Because he quite frankly can do massive work if I have the right coverage. We go for the Krasnot. We should be able to kill the Electivire at this range at +2. And now he only has Inteleon left. Inteleon I hopefully can kill with Krasnot, but we have to see. If I'm at +2. It should die, so I can go for a Krasnot here and not worry about a miss. So we press the Krasnot, and unless you're Scoff, this is the GG. Quite frankly, thankfully I had the white lens, because my god, the Focus Blast into Plignit Storm when I did go for those more spooky turns. But there we go, we start off the season with a 4-0 victory versus Crimson Seabad. Good game to him, make sure to check him out if somehow you haven't. And been a follower of my channel, or if you're watching this off the chance for PokeMD stream and for some reason you haven't checked Crimson Seabad out, like, please go check him out. He's a very nice guy who I think he's improving a lot in this generation. And frankly, when I was watching his low tier format run that he had, like him beating against Shaco King and PokeMD throughout his run was really impressive to me, and that really showed me that he's taking the steps in the right direction to get into form, because Generation 9 can be tough to get comfortable with if you're not purely a hyper-offensive player at heart, and I can say that as a former experience having to get adjusted myself. But thank you again for watching, especially if you're a new viewer. Make sure that you're subscribed so you won't be missing out. I told you in my draft analysis that my games won't be dragged out. I know I can turn this into offensive team too and just resort my regenerator in a pinch moment and not necessarily drag out these battles for being too long. But speaking of trying to make them too long, I'm gonna end it here. Stay tuned for week 2 when I go up against Shroomraver, who was a semi-finalist in the last season, so very good coach and somebody that I never got to play against before. So I'm excited, hope you are as well, and until then, I'm gonna be seeing you guys later.